This training video explains how to use the QAWacht Connector for quality monitoring of voice communications in a contact center. Why do we need the connector? Let us imagine that a manager is sitting next to the agent, listening to the conversation and evaluating it. The manager does not need to connect to the contact center system. It is enough to hear what the agent and the customer are saying. The connector works in the same way. It acts as a listening manager sitting next to the agent. However, unlike a person, it only captures conversations on the agent's workstation and sends them to the central QAWacht platform for analysis. The evaluation is performed using artificial intelligence. The manager configures the system, defines evaluation criteria, and reviews the results. To connect an agent to the QAWacht, the manager adds the agent to the system using a management panel. After that, or after clicking the envelope pictogram against the agent's login in the management screen, the agent automatically receives an email containing a download link for the connector and a password for login. After receiving the email, the agent downloads the connector and starts the installation. The installation process is straightforward and does not require any special actions. If the corresponding option is selected, the connector can be launched automatically immediately after installation. When the connector is started for the first time, a login window appears. The agent enters the password received in the email. The agent can enable the options Auto Login and Remember Password. In this case, the credentials will not need to be entered again after restarting the connector. The agent can also enable automatic startup of the connector when the system starts. In this case, the connector will start automatically and will not require any actions in case of operating system restart. The manager can reset the agent's password. In this case, the agent will receive a new email and the new password must be entered manually. In some environments, the connector may be installed automatically by a system administrator. In this case, the agent does not need to install anything manually. Only copy the password from the email with installation link, launch the connector, and log in. The next step involves filling out the connector login form and marking the required checkboxes, such as Remember Password, Auto Login, and Run at Startup. After launch, the connector icon appears in the system tray and remains there while the agent's desktop is running and the agent is working, making or receiving calls. A blue icon by white background indicates that the connector is active and ready to capture audio. A blue icon by red background means that the connector at this moment is capturing audio. A gray icon shows that the connector is not active for some technical reasons. A red icon on white background means that connector is disconnected. A yellow icon indicates that connector is in the process of connecting. You can drag the connector icon from the Hidden Icons menu to the visible part of the system tray. In most cases, the connector starts capturing audio automatically when a conversation begins. At that moment, its background turns red. When the conversation ends, capturing stops automatically. The connector returns to its initial state. In some cases, the connector icon may turn gray. A gray icon indicates that the connector is inactive for some reason, such as being disabled by a manager. The connector normally operates in automatic mode. It determines the start and end of conversations by detecting specific elements on the desktop screen or via integration with the contact center system. From the agent's perspective, this makes no difference. There is no need to watch its icon or to interact with it in any way. The connector can also be controlled manually via the context menu. This menu is available by right-clicking the tray icon. There are two important commands. Log out. Ends the session and requires entering the password again. Exit. Closes the connector while keeping the login active. At the initial stage of system deployment, the connector may operate in manual mode. In this mode, the agent must manually start and stop recording using the menu. After system configuration, the connector switches to fully automatic operation. If any issues occur, the agent should inform the manager. If requested, the agent can enable debug logging. In this case, the log will be sent to the server automatically. These functions should only be used under the guidance of a manager or administrator. In everyday use, the connector operates automatically. It does not require any actions from the agent. This concludes the overview of the QAWacht Connector.